Hi students, welcome to this video. I'd just like to inform you that the PDF of sample answers is available on our website. The link is given in the description below. Do check it out. The topic for this video is describe a time when you had to wait in a long queue. Say when this happened, how long the queue was, what it was about, and how you felt waiting in the long line. So take a look at my sample answer. Standing in a queue is definitely the best way to maintain order and discipline. However, at times it can be quite tiresome. I'd like to talk to you about an instance when I had to stand in a long line while waiting to exit from the immigration area after an international trip. About 4 years ago, I went on a trip to the UAE as part of an expo for international schools. It was quite a prolonged yet fruitful trip of 20 days across various regions of the UAE, and the travel was extensive. Finally, when the tour was over, I was exhausted, weary and homesick and couldn't wait to get home and crash in my bed and relax. However, I could have never imagined that the exact opposite was in store for me. As soon as I landed, everyone was asked to proceed for immigration check, and as I entered the space, I was met with the most daunting lineup. It was physically and mentally excruciating to see the sheer mass of people in what seemed to be an unending line. It turned out that due to some unforeseen delay, there were around 6 flights that had landed simultaneously along with mine. And as a result, all were waiting to be checked out. To worsen the situation, all counters were not manned, which meant that the few open counters had long serpentine queues. Frustration and anger were writ on all faces, and it was utter chaos everywhere. My plans of getting a good sleep before going to work the next morning went straight down the drain, as I figured it would take at least 3 hours to get out of the airport itself and another 2-hour drive to get back home. It was a harrowing experience, and my frustration and stress kept mounting, but I had no choice but to silently endure it. I kept counting and recounting the number of people ahead of me and calculating how much more time it would take. I can say the wait was an ultimate test of my patience. After 3 grueling hours, I was finally able to head back home after this terribly unpalatable experience. Now let's look at some part 3 questions. Do people wait patiently when they are in a long queue? People are often not very patient in long queues. While they may be courteous for a while, waiting for extended periods can bring out the worst in people. They may get impatient, grumpy and stressed. This is especially true when the staff is unable to give a reasonable explanation for the delay. Some people tend to throw all queuing etiquette to the winds by barging in and cutting lines to get ahead, even in short queues. Why are queues important? Queues are important to prevent commotion. If people were to rush in a disorderly manner to a counter, it could lead to stampedes or people getting injured. Also, without a queue, the fastest and strongest would get out first, leaving children, the elderly or the differently abled in a situation where they would find it difficult to accomplish their tasks. Do people generally follow a queue or do they try to break the queue? I think generally we see orderly queuing everywhere, but there are places like small shops or theaters where people barge past each other. Queues for getting into buses or trains also can quickly turn into chaos. That's all in this video. I'll soon be back with another topic. If this video was useful for you, give us a thumbs up, subscribe and click on the bell icon for more updates. And also do share with your friends.